Here's Paul. Dallas has a foul to give. Booker on a three. He got it! Devin Booker gives Phoenix a 1-point lead with
5 from long range. Durant's got 11. Craig goes down. Durant has got a highlight.
remaining. Tatum drives down and throws it down! Wow! Bryant for the win. Bang! Kobe Bryant has hit a shot at the buzzer!
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Bits podcast. We are finally back in person, so no more Zoom podcasts or Zoom episodes. Finally. I'm excited because this is probably the best way to do it. I love how we do it here.
Yeah,
so
I didn't really miss sitting next to you.
Okay, all right.
I would offer to switch seats, but
oh God. All right, so let's move on to the first part of the news segment. It's actually probably one of the biggest stories since last week or since we last were on the podcast. Is about James Harden leaving the Nets potentially. And I assume you would love to talk about this, or at least give us the rundown, give us a breakdown.
sounds good. I think there's a lot of rumors going around, and it's not a lot of people are exactly sure what's going on. But as of right now, I saw from a Nets Twitter, Instagram account, not a Twitter account. I don't know how accurate it is, but they were basically saying that Steve Nash said, I have a great relationship with James Harden, and, all the rumors about him wanting to leave are not true. James Harden also said something about, if you didn't hear it from me, it's just a rumor, yada, yada, yada. So who really knows what's going on? But right now, basically, he did give all the Nets fan base a heart attack by basically, airing out all of his woes about living in New York and playing in Brooklyn right now. And he's got some issues with it, which I think rightfully so. I mean, we got injuries, we got protocols to deal with. There's a lot of crap going on that I don't think anybody would necessarily be happy about. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, to say you want out of Brooklyn, if this is true, break
your heart.
Well, not only would it break my heart, but James Harden's been one of my favorite players since I started watching the NBA. I was watching him when he was on the Rockets and stuff. I thought it was really cool. But I'm no more love for you if you just dip out like that. If he gets traded in good spirit or something, that's a different story. But if he just says, "Oh, I want out," I want to win. Yeah. My problem is where else are you gonna do that? Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah.
So essentially, we've heard various things about what Harden has said, but essentially what the specific report that we're going off of is on Tuesday prior to the Nets matchup with the Lakers. A report from Jake Fisher of Bleacher Report indicated that Harden does not enjoy living in Brooklyn, in part because of the weather, high taxes, and is not pleased with the current Kyrie Irving situation.
Yeah.
What's wrong with New York cold? What you mean?
2 feet of snow on the road and the sidewalk every day.
All right, relax. Okay, you just gotta deal with it. Okay.
Maybe some sewer rats.
Yeah, it's really not that big of a deal,
But yeah, it's unfortunate to see, and we want to, obviously see James Harden still play for the Nets, but. The one thing that I did want to add was that it would be his first time exploring free agency, so I think that partially he is persuaded by that, and
yeah, he is persuaded by the whole idea. Oh, all these teams are gonna come at me and try to give me a nice big fat contract.
Exactly. So
that's definitely very romantic to him.
Exactly. So that in that part, I do think that he's a little bit kind of. Really trying to explore that option just because it is a new thing to him, and it definitely seems nice, and he could possibly make more money, who knows. Mm-hmm. But yeah
And the last thing I want to talk about is that part of this report was also potential landing spots, and a lot of rumors are saying he wants to team up with Joel Embiid and the Sixers, which both of us would not want as Eastern Conference team fans of teams. The Celtics and the Nets both have to play them quite a bit throughout the season.
I can't believe
if that happens.
If it did happen, I would want. I don't really like Philadelphia to begin with.
No one in Boston
as a city.
No one in Boston likes them either.
Philadelphia sports teams or whatever. Yeah. But no, that would definitely put the Sixers on my shit list. That's for sure.
They're already on my shit list as a New England fan, so that is terrible. and they're the most toxic fan base. Imagine if they get like James Harden and they win one game, they're burning down the damn city. So that's all I'm saying.
You saw what happened when they won the
Super Bowl?
Super Bowl in 2018.
People were eating like horse crap off the ground and like knocking down light poles.
Back in my head.
But yeah, that's
when
all
they win. Imagine what happens when they lose.
When they lose?
Still eat the horse crap.
Anyway, do we have any other potential landing spot ideas? Otherwise, I think the Sixers is pretty fair.
I think that's the most realistic for him because he's
Screw it, go to Portland.
he's not. Dude,
Go to
if he went to
Portland.
Portland, that would be kind of nuts.
Crazy.
But
it would just be him and no
I mean,
one else.
He wants to go. He wants to go to a contender. That's pretty obvious. He wants to win a ring. So I think Philadelphia would make the most sense for him.
I just don't see why it wouldn't make the most sense to stay.
Just stay. That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
he's playing with Kevin Durant, which like no matter what other team you go to, you're not going to play with another guy like Kevin Durant. So I feel like
and Kyrie.
And
Even
Kyrie,
if he's
exactly.
a part-time player, he's still freaking amazing every time.
yeah.
he
So
plays.
I don't know where where James Harden's getting off right now, but I don't know. It's weird.
It's unfortunate.
Very
And
unfortunate.
speaking of another trader leaving, actually not even leaving. This came out actually today.
Speaking of Philadelphia again.
Philadelphia.
Welcome back to the Ben Simmons podcast.
Yes. So this actually got tweeted by Woj this morning, and the Kings actually backed out of the Ben Simmons talk, and they were really aggressive trying to find a trade for Ben Simmons, offering up whatever packages they got, and now they just recently just backed out. And basically, what I pick up from this is that Daryl Morey is just creating enemies throughout the NBA, and no one's going to want to talk to him about anything like trades or any free agency, nothing.
He's asking for too much.
He's being he thinks his value is like so high, but realistically he's like
and you
a
also
couple notches down.
You got to put your headspace where like the Sixers are at right now. So think about it. They tanked like how many seasons to get this specific number 1 pick for Ben Simmons in 2016,
Right.
I think it was. So like they tanked for ages to try to get they had a whole name for it. Okay, they call it the process, right? You guys are more familiar with that than I am. But so yeah, they were like all in on that. They get this number 1 pick 2016. They're like, all right, this is like our messiah. This guy is gonna save our organization and bring us many championships and many riches. And now they're trying to get rid of him. So I understand why they're asking so much, but it's not realistic at all.
No.
I have a lot of opinions about this, but I'll keep it short. I could care less for Ben Simmons, and I don't want him in the NBA, period. But he's here, and I have to deal with him. So
Yes.
He's barely here right now.
Barely here.
Yeah.
And with this, like, where could he even go? Where could he even after like being like basically Daryl Morey like screwing over Ben Simmons and Ben Simmons screwing over the Sixers? Who even wants those two? Who even wants to talk to Daryl Morey? And who even wants Ben Simmons on their team?
Yeah,
probably no one.
The name Ben Simmons automatically, it sends like shivers down our spines.
Yeah.
Imagine you pick up the phone and you're like front office. They're like, hey, it's the 76ers like front office. Instantly hang up. Like, I don't want to.
That's what happened with the Celtics earlier this year. They tried to call. Brad Stevens tried to call the Sixers about a Ben Simmons trade, and they said we want Jason Tatum. Gone. We were not going to do that.
I genuinely think I would cry if he got traded to my team.
Oh yeah, no, same, absolutely. And Brooklyn is looking like a possible destination for him, which is very scary. I really do not want him. I mean, skill set aside, just like the whole locker room presence, I feel like he would bring
off-court
and
issues.
just like the whole childish like BS he was going through. I can't imagine why an organization would even entertain the idea of bringing him in.
I firmly believe this, and people can disagree with me on this or not. I do genuinely think that his career is going to end short because of this.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no doubt in my mind that he doesn't play past like 32 or 33.
Yeah, even if he plays like another, how old is he now? Like 24 or
something like that.
Yeah, even if honestly, I could see him maybe getting like 2 more seasons in, and depending on how those seasons go, if he turns everything around, then sure, like he could go back to what he was before, All-Star, whatever. But if he stays the same as he is now and he goes to another team, he does not even pulls like the same crap, just like doesn't improve on anything.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna be out in like 2 to 3 years. I wouldn't even give him.
We've been talking about this all season. He just refuses to improve his shooting, and like that was
like
literally one of the biggest things that he needed to improve on to be able to stay in the league. And somehow he still is staying in the league, but like on a thread.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous. I
if he was anything other than first round, he would be done in a week. We wouldn't even be talking about this. We would be like, who even is this guy?
Right. Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, it just looks weird. Anyway, you want to talk about the last segment because I know you want to talk about it quickly.
Yeah.
Before we move on to the bigger segment.
So very quickly, currently, I want to bring up the Milwaukee Bucks. They've been struggling as of late recently. I think they got a win or two the other night, but it's definitely something that we've noticed a trend on where they have consistently been going down in the seeding. They're currently the 6th seed as of right now, and I kind of wanted to just discuss real quick in our first segment. Are they falling off? They're the defending champions. Do we think that they are going to be even close to getting to the championship this year? Because as of right now, it doesn't look like it.
I think what happened was that they dropped DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right. That was it.
That was definitely
a guy.
Big kind of locker room guy. He really brought the culture of Milwaukee together.
Yes.
They really needed him.
But seriously, I think Middleton and Holiday have taken a step back to what they were a year or 2 years ago. And of course, Giannis is still dominant as ever. But if you don't have that supporting cast around him, especially the bench unit this year has not been performing as well, it's not going to go well. You can't have one man carry an organization just like we learned from the Rockets and your boy James Harden. We learned that he can't carry an organization. No one man can carry an organization. Only one man can do that is LeBron. And even now with the Lakers, he's having a tough time. So
yeah, because he's 36.
Yeah, he's pretty old.
So some trouble with it. To be fair though, he's still averaging almost 30 points a game, which is ridiculous. But we can talk about that another time.
I want to note something as well, real quick. Currently in their division right now, can you scroll that to me real quick?
It's a lot of good competition. I'll say the East.
Yeah, in the East, which is very competitive right now, and their the division as well. They are currently what?
2 games back?
No. Their division. Sorry.
Oh, division.
They're 5-5. That for a team that is the defending champions should not be 5-5 in just their division.
Well,
who's in their division? That might be helpful.
That's also so the division is the Chicago Bulls, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and then the Pacers and the Detroit Pistons. But you know what I mean. Like
that's what I'm saying.
There's
5-5. There's 2 teams.
That means they probably smacked the Pacers and Pistons and then dropped all the games to the other guys.
I think that they might have beat the Cavs or Bulls once, and they lost to Indiana or Detroit. I think they actually did lose to Detroit once.
Oh wait, no, they're.
Oh, I think I did hear about that. I'm pretty sure Cade had a really good game. I think was that his triple double.
By the way, hold on. Before we keep going, they're actually 7-3 in the division. They're 7-3. You were looking at. I think you were looking at another record.
Go back to conference
because that's the division.
They don't even know how to. They don't even know how to work.
But there's 5-6 in here, which makes no sense.
Yeah, boomers over here.
They're 5-6.
We'll put 5-6 for now. But there's. It's funny how ESPN has
a division.
Well, yeah, because ESPN has divided their division, has a division rankings, which has 7-3 here, but then you go to this division ranking, which is 5-6. So ESPN is pretty dumb, is what I'm saying.
Fair enough.
They need to put one division.
Careful. Let's not make any enemies, boys. Okay, like jeez.
If you're gonna put a division stat, make it all consistent. Anyway, but I mean, I've already said my point, unless you want to add anything.
I think something I don't know about regular season wise, but I think they're going to start feeling this in the playoffs a lot more is not having PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker was a huge piece, despite having very mediocre stats throughout the playoff appearance, which he didn't even do that bad. But I mean, that guy, you want to talk about a culture locker room guy.
He had one crappy game.
No, I mean not even. Like I feel like his scoring was very mediocre.
No, but I'm just saying he had one crappy game because he played 20 minutes plus and then got 0 on.
Oh yeah.
Other than that, he did solid. Yeah.
No, but for real, I mean this guy was you want to talk about a culture guy, right? Who's tying a whole team together.
Blue player is what I like.
Seriously, and he was also one of the only defenders that could give KD anything,
right?
Anyone else you put it on KD and he would have torched him for 50 a game, So the fact that they don't have one of their better, a solid shooter from the corner 3 specifically, which I'm sure with Giannis driving into the paint is open all the time. I know it was when he was on the Bucks. But yeah, now they don't have that defensive presence. They don't have just like the heart and soul that dude brings to like any organization, you know.
For
And
sure.
he went to Miami, and look at Miami now. Miami's
Number
doing great.
one. Number one.
Miami's doing great. So
What did KD have on him? He only had like 25 or something.
20.
Like
I
that?
think it was 20 to 25.
And I say
only 25.
No, I mean, seriously,
Kevin
I
Durant.
think KD was he was averaging, I think, during that series somewhere around 27,
At
28.
right?
Because, I mean, he was taking the majority volume of those shots. He didn't have anybody else around him.
Yeah.
You know?
But yeah, I mean, we'll see what the Bucks. They're 6, and they're actually funny enough. They're 6, but they have 30 wins. They're tied with the second, third seed for wins totals. It's just they have more losses, so their rank dropped. So they could pick it up and stop losing games and put the ranking back.
They did
up.
get DiVincenzo back a few weeks ago, I think. So that's like a good shooter for them.
Sure.
But I mean, yeah, they're missing a couple pieces from their championship
they're
team.
missing some easy games too. I mean,
Yeah.
they could easily be winning a lot of these close games, and they're just not closing it out.
Yeah, they're just dropping it.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's move on to the next segment, which actually just got released 2 days ago, and I think this could be our biggest segment of the year probably because we have quite a bit to talk about.
Yes, sir.
So All-Star selections happened. I know last week we were thinking about talking about our predictions of who we're going to start, but they've already got announced this week. So for the West All-Star starters, we got Steph Curry, John Morant, LeBron James, Joker, and Wiggins. Very hot take. We're gonna talk about them later. But for the East, we have DeMar DeRozan, Trae Young, Kevin Durant, Joel Embiid, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. So I want everyone to give like their 1 sentence reaction to each of those teams before we go into our predictions, which is going to
For
be
the whole starting lineup.
okay. You give like a quick little 30-second because I want to go into our predictions more because I think that'll be a lot more to talk about. But I think for my 1 minute, 1 sentence or couple sentence reaction to the West is why Wiggins? That's my only I'm going to say that. Why Wiggins over the many of the people I have in my predictions for the bench that could easily be moved up to the starter position. So just why Wiggins? For the East, they're huge. They have 3 guys over 6'10", Giannis, Durant, and Joel Embiid. So we will see how that size affects them in the All-Star game. So that's my little 1 second reaction. You wanna take the next one?
You wanna go, Jay?
I'll go. So why the flying fuck is Wiggins in the starting
Okay,
lineup?
same as mine.
Yeah, but realistically, I understand, the fans, they vote in and everything, and that's fine. I'm not really that worried or concerned because of that reason alone. The coaches on the bench, for me, that's what makes the All-Star teams more important, in my opinion, because that they actually deserve that point rather than, fans just voting in Carmelo Anthony at number 5 and voting.
Or Derrick Rose at 8 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, Clay Thompson also coming in for the Western
Come
rankings.
on, what?
Injured.
Yeah, so, we know that fans can do some weird stuff like that sometimes, but I know Wiggins just makes no sense. That was so dumb. Jokic is GOAT. He might win MVP this year again, and LeBron. But and
What do you even say?
But the East, I'm very happy with. I think everybody on that starting lineup deserves it.
DeMar DeRozan, dark horse MVP candidate. Anyway, that's my only thing.
Yeah. So West, Wiggins. What are you doing there? I think we were talking about it last night.
Yeah.
We were very confused about that. I think all of us. Congrats to John Morant. I'm super happy that he got not only an All-Star selection but a starter selection.
Yes,
okay, this guy is absolutely torching it right now. One of my favorite point guards in the league, easily a top 3 point guard in the league right now.
For sure.
So good for him. And then West, I don't have a whole lot to say other than I'm happy that DeMar DeRozan is still kind of what about the East?
You said the West.
You said West. Yeah. So in the East, I'm happy that DeMar DeRozan is still cooking.
Mm-hmm.
This dude is crazy right now on the Bulls. I think a new team really suits him really well. And I mean, he's crazy right now because he was pretty good when he went to San Antonio for a few years. Fell off a little bit, but now he's really stepping it back up. And I like what I see.
I think he was playing a lot more conservatively on the Spurs.
And you can probably chalk a lot of that up to Mr. Popovich.
Indeed.
Yeah, very, very conservative game style. So let's move on to our bench predictions. This is going to be, we're going to do essentially a 7-man bench for both teams and 1 reserve. So the reserve will come in, obviously, if one player gets COVID or gets injured, yada, yada. So I think should we list all of them off and then we're going to pick at each other's lineups. I think that'd be better.
Yeah.
All right. So for my East lineup, bench lineup, I got Zach LaVine, James Harden, Jared Allen, Jimmy Butler, Jason Tatum, Lamella Ball, Bam Adebayo, and my reserve for the East is going to be Darius Garland over possibly Jaylen Brown. I had to really think about that one, but yeah, Darius Garland. For the West, I had Luka Doncic, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Karl Anthony Towns, Donovan Mitchell, Draymond Green, DeAndre Ayton, and then my reserve is going to be Anthony Edwards. So I think that's a pretty good lineup. So I'll pass it off to James.
All right, so mine. Thank you for letting me use your phone, Moko. So mine is for the East is Zach LaVine. It's a little similar to Moko. Zach LaVine, James Harden, Jared Allen, Jimmy Butler, Jason Tatum, or Fred VanVleet. Haven't decided which one I wanted. Lamella Ball, Bam Adebayo, and my reserve would be Domantas Sabonis. For the West, I have Chris Paul, Devin Booker, who could have been a starter in my opinion. Luka Doncic, Karl Anthony Towns should have been a starter in my opinion. Donovan Mitchell, Draymond Green, DeAndre Ayton, and my reserve is Rudy Gobert.
So I had a little bit of a hotter take than you guys, I think, personally. But so for my West bench, I went for Draymond Green, Anthony Edwards, Cat, Luka, Book, Gobert, Donovan Mitchell, and then my reserve I actually had DeJounte Murray. Okay, man's almost averaging a triple-double this season. Don't forget him. All right, 9,
True.
and he's leading the league in assists, and he's leading the league in steals, and is averaging 9 assists on the season right now. Top that. Anybody else? And then for my Eastern bench, I got Sabonis, Darius Garland, which I don't think either of you had. You had him in your reserves.
Yeah, reserves.
You had him. Okay, so Darius Garland playing great right now. Zach LaVine, which is a pretty common choice. James Harden, Lamella Ball, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and my reserve, again, another one that I think flew under both of y'all's radar was Miles Bridges.
All right. So, I mean, off this, me and James have pretty similar just because I think we think very similarly when it comes to our All-Star selection. I mean, because people could say Jimmy Butler doesn't deserve, but man, like I also look at record and I think Jimmy Butler's leading this Miami Heat team.
One thing
and Bam as well.
One thing I just want to add to as well is that you also have to think about these are the coach's decisions. So you also, in my head, the way that I thought about it was that if I was in the head of the coach's board and I was, making these decisions as a coach. So in my opinion, you also have to think about that. I'm not saying that Reed didn't. I'm just saying, or Moko didn't. I'm just saying that,
why you gotta come after me?
Anyway, so I mean, overall, I think you can switch out a lot of these guys. A lot of these guys have played really well this season. Of course, one guy flew under my radar completely, DeJounte Murray, because the Spurs have been playing god awful this year. But DeJounte Murray's been carrying whatever wins they could get. So that is a fair argument. I'm not opposed to most of these takes. Minus the thing, I want to switch out some of the starters and benches, but that otherwise all these players that we've listed deserve to be in.
It's always tough to come up with this bench unit because the starters I think are pretty relatively clear cut.
True.
I think Cat also should have been a starter. I can kind of see that over Wiggins for sure.
That's what I'm saying.
But other than that, everything else was pretty standard, I thought. But when it comes to the bench, it's really tough because you got a lot of guys who are having good seasons, and it's hard to pick just 7 out of I think there's like 400 something active NBA players, and obviously not all of them are even worth a mention. But when you look at the guys who are worthy of one of these 7 spots, it's kind of difficult to come up with just 7.
The only reason why I picked Rudy Gobert over DeJounte Murray, because I did think about that, because I was like, DeJounte Murray.
I think I had Gobert as well. I had Gobert as well.
Okay, well, I had Gobert on my for my reserve instead of DeJounte Murray, and the reason why I did that was because the coaches cream over Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, they really like him.
Defensive center, they absolutely love
defensive
that
my butt. Okay, that dude can do nothing but block shots. All right, anybody else? That guy's not defending. That guy's not defending.
If you can block
jack.
Over 1.5, like you're killing it.
I guess, dude, but I don't know.
I think that's fair. Also, he's been playing pretty good offensively this year.
But I would love to see DeJounte Murray. I would personally love to see that.
Dude, he's great.
I don't like Gobert.
Yeah,
I don't like
Gobert.
He gave the entire NBA the disease.
Yes.
Ridden disease.
Ooh,
if you remember that from March of last year, this man single-handedly shut down the league.
Patient zero of the NBA. But yeah, I think he's over. I don't know. I can't really think of anything. I mean, DeJounte Murray's great. Well, I can't really see anything.
No Chris Paul, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was looking at Chris Paul, and honestly, I like Chris Paul, no doubt. He's having a good season, but I just feel like, I mean, it comes down to a ranking system, you know? It's not saying like, because you have to compare all these guys to each other.
Yeah, of course.
You know?
Yeah.
So like you got to look at them and say, all right, so Chris Paul's in the West right now, right? You got to look at Chris Paul's competition in the West about who could possibly be an all-star, you know? And I'm thinking that I would rather have Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, Devin Booker, Luka, Kat, Ant, and Draymond.
I mean, you do
over
have
Chris.
a lot of guards on your bench.
I do like guards. Guards are fun. But I don't know, dude. I think it was all I don't know. I feel like if you're going to pick I wanted to pick one person from the Suns specifically because I feel like the Suns are obviously having a great season. And I wanted to pick one person who I thought was leading that team, and I thought it was Book over Chris Paul.
I would agree with that, but I definitely think that both of them will
I think so as well.
Yeah.
But I mean, last night we were talking about it, and you guys said this is what we think it's going to be. I did more of a personal take on it because I thought that would just be more fun. But yeah, Paul not on my list. Probably a bit late, but happens.
Yeah, I think one person we left out of everybody that I can see that. Of course, you mentioned Van Fleet, so I was going to be one of them. But the other two people I'm going to mention right now, I want to see your thoughts on if you would put him in if there was like other bad players.
I know one of them. Really.
Paul George.
Paul George,
if he wasn't injured, I would absolutely give him a nod. That guy was having a really solid season before he got.
So I didn't put him in, but I was looking at his stats and watching I watched a couple of his games. But Pascal Siakam, his stats were equivalent or even better to what his All-Star season was 2 years ago. And he's more efficient this year and averaging like more stats overall than his thing. I mean, I didn't put him in for that reason because I looked at everyone else that was there. But he's like one of the people I was like, if I had no one else to choose, I'd put him in there.
I'll give you two reasons. Why Siakam's not going to get an All-Star this year.
The coaches?
No. One, because Fred VanVleet is the top player on that team right now. The second thing is the Toronto Raptors blow.
Well, they're the 9th seed right now.
Exactly. That's pretty bad.
It's pretty cheap.
That's playing tournament. So if you count that,
it would be out of playoffs if we were in a standard
one. Yeah, that's true.
They're literally 500 right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to throw people out there because I wouldn't have. I was thinking about Julius Randle as well, but like Julius Randle is not leading this New York Knicks team as well as I thought. So
yeah. So here's my thing about Pascal Siakam.
I'm just throwing a name out there.
I mean, so you say that his numbers are almost identical to his previous 19 to 20 All-Star selection.
Yes,
but then you also got to look at how the rest of the league has also improved. Like he's got his numbers back up for sure, right? Actually, they're lower than they were last season.
No, like his rest of his like his other numbers, not his shooting. His shooting, his efficiency is up.
So
his everything is up.
Yeah, but it's not as good. His
assists are up, rebounds are up,
rebounds and assists
are up.
Hold that.
So basically,
everything except for
hold that.
So basically, what I'm trying to say here is that he may have improved his numbers from last year,
right? Pascal hater,
but like he hasn't. Like you got to look at how everybody else has improved.
Yeah,
like you look at even just like one person that comes to my head that was just on my list. Is you look at like Lamella Ball right now. Okay, Lamella Ball, I think if you put it on like a curve, Lamella Ball has gotten better.
Has OJ Lamelo?
Since little Joe Lamelo. He's gotten better in his 2 seasons so far and is putting up better numbers than I think how Siakam has improved his numbers.
Well, I was just throwing names out there.
That's just an example of a player.
Again, I didn't put him in there for that because like I knew he wasn't as good, but like I wanted to see what y'all's thoughts were on that. I'm gonna see if I can find.
Why do you hate him so much?
Yeah, why do you hate him?
I don't really hate him. I just don't think that he deserves the nod that a lot of people give him. Like I feel like a lot of people think that he's like a really at least B player in the league, and I think that he's like mid C tier.
So do you think that he didn't deserve his All-Star selection?
No,
his previous
year, 100%. 100%. He totally deserved it. But this year, hell no.
Oh.
Hell no.
Oh, here's one person that got left out. Anthony Davis.
Dude, nah.
Egg.
No?
Egg.
Okay.
He's been
I'm
injured
throwing
for
names.
too long.
Yeah. Okay, I've been throwing names out there just to see what y'all's reactions are.
It's sickening at this point.
I'm not saying that he should, but
You
I'm
know,
saying,
you just
one
like you
name
see him
would
get injured again. You're like, dude. You're like,
I
bro,
actively
come on.
avoided putting him on my bench.
Oh. How about
Yeah,
Brad-
no, he didn't even
Bradley
get it.
Beal.
He didn't
Bradley
even-
Beal, another one we should.
Oh,
let's talk
wow,
about Bradley
I'm
Beal.
actually-
I think this is my last one I would want to talk about.
I
Bradley
think
Beal.
I remember checking Brad's stats, and I'm pretty sure Brad is having one of his worst shooting years.
Yeah, he's having a down year, man.
Anyway.
Still like putting up numbers, but like you
Yeah.
said, definitely having a down year.
Dude, so his 3-point percentage is taking a massive hit. That's
What's
what.
it at right now?
So previous seasons on his career, he's shooting 37%, which is pretty solid.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Last season, he shot about 35%. This
Yeah.
season, he's at 30. So
Well,
he took a massive hit this year.
Yeah. That's
Well,
okay.
I tried. I wanted to see throw in some
He
names
took a
in the
massive
mix.
hit this year, and he's shooting 45% from the field. Which, if you're going to shoot 30%
Yeah.
from three, I need you to shoot at least 50 from the field.
Yeah.
So
Like
with-
I would want to put like some like injured players like Paul George in there or something, but like I mean we even have to keep in mind that Kevin Durant might be injured for this also.
That's
Yeah.
also true. But fun fact, Bradley Beal's assists are actually at the highest they've ever been.
That's
Yeah.
So good for him for
Yeah,
that.
he has some good players around him. Playmake with Montrezl Harrell, Spencer Dinwiddie, and Kyle Kuzma.
Much as my hazel now.
My headers in Venezuela. But yeah, I just want to throw some names out there. So it seems like when I was doing this little thing, I was like kind of in the back of my head, like, does that mean that minus the people we listed, is there really not anyone else who could really step up? Or is a guaranteed yes as an all-star this year? Minus Paul George, obviously, but like, is there anyone else that we would like off like minus the barring our list? There's no one else that really could step up as like a guaranteed all-star if on a moment's notice. Because I was just throwing names out there to see what we could get a reaction on.
Like if you were like
minus
okay,
all these players, we need an
extra,
all-star.
like we need an extra spot, and we have to call someone
Brogdon
tonight.
was healthy, he would have been there. Yeah.
So that's why I was thinking. It's like it looks like the committee did a really good job on the starters, and it looks like we did a really good job on the bench because it looks like there's no one else.
Yeah, take a look at our bench. NBA, ESPN, just take a quick look at it.
Yeah,
You know, maybe you want some ideas. Like
coaches, you want to read our predictions right here? So you can
Give
just
us
put
a
them
ranking?
just put them in there. Just put them in there. You know, we're doing pretty good.
yeah, no. NBA coaches are actually our highest listener base.
Yes.
Fun fact.
We only have NBA coaches listening to this podcast. No one else.
This is strictly an informative podcast.
Let's do a quick little guess.
If we had
this
okay.
a
Yes.
little bit, who do we think the coaches for the All Star team are going to be?
Oh, that's interesting.
You know what?
Okay.
We'll throw that in there because I didn't have any predictions. First, I think one person
Today,
stands out Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr needs to be in there after this Warriors season. He needs to be back in the All Star game.
I think Monty Williams is going to get it.
I think again, obviously,
Obviously, get it.
I think it's kind of an obvious one.
Dude, I don't know. I'm thinking
I
think I
think
pick
Bulls and Suns.
who's coaching oh yeah, Billy Donovan for
Yeah.
the Chicago Bulls, or who's coaching the Cavs right now?
Oh, that's a shout.
Because
Yeah.
he's oh god, what's his name, dude? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's not one. That's not one. Oh, Eric Spoelstra, guaranteed for the East. Eric
I
Spoelstra,
wouldn't say guaranteed.
I think guaranteed for me.
I would
'Cause
say Billy Donovan.
JB Bickerstaff.
Yeah.
JB Bickerstaff is killing it right now with the Cavs.
You know, funny enough, because we talked.
What's his name? I don't
This
know.
is Simon- yeah,
Don't
Bickerstaff
don't
is-
laugh at the man's
No,
name.
I'm laughing.
His mama gave him that name.
I'm laughing because he's not been as good of a coach like in past years, and this is his first year he's had like a decent roster, and also like he's actually put together a decently good game plan this year.
Who's Casey coaching now?
Casey,
Dwayne Casey. I
he's
forgot.
he's coaching the Pistons.
That's right.
Yeah, so
Rough.
Yeah, it's a terrible job.
yeah, so I think for the
Imagine
East,
going to bed every night knowing that you coach the Detroit Pistons.
but he got a ring. So
you got a ring, yeah.
got a ring.
So you
swing
can't
there.
complain
That's
there.
true.
So
They got
is it,
fired the year.
so is it the coaches? It's 3 coaches, right, for the All Star?
No, it's 2.
2.
It's
Why would there be?
two.
Explain to me why there would be 3 coaches.
I was thinking of Team USA. Never mind. I was thinking Team USA has 2. Never mind.
Like,
I don't know.
why would they have? There's 2 All-Star teams. Why would they have 3 head coaches?
USA
per-
teams playing.
no, like,
they're
total-
gonna
what are
play
you
3
saying?
team basketball.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Per team.
thinking. Like
3 for the East, 3 for the West, right?
oh, okay. I thought you were saying like 3
Right,
total.
yeah.
Like,
Like
I thought you
the
meant like 3
Yeah,
total.
but I don't
Three
think
for
they
the-
announced like the
Like they have like a head and like
I
2
don't think they
2
really
head
Wait,
assistants.
so when they have assistant coaches for the All-Star game,
They do nothing.
do they pick other head coaches, or is it?
Yeah, it's other head coaches. That's how it
is
works.
it, or is it like an
Right.
assistant coach, like an actual?
Yeah, but they
assistant
do
coach?
nothing.
Well, yeah, obviously they do nothing. The head coach barely does anything.
Well, yeah, that's the point.
It's the All-Star game.
It's the All-Star game. But, like, let's give our 3 head coaches a show up.
3 head coaches? Per the name 3 head coaches for each conference?
Each conference.
You do 3 head coaches per conference.
I thought they did.
Just pick one. Why don't you need 3 head coaches?
All right, for the East, I'm picking Eric Spoelstra.
So much.
And then for the West, I'm picking Steve Kerr because that was my original first
I'll
name.
do Monty Williams and Billy Donovan.
I definitely wanted Billy Donovan, and honestly, I'd probably go with Steve Kerr as well.
Steve Kerr. All right, obviously, just because the teams are performing well. I was thinking
coaches per team. Yeah, right.
So anyway,
wait, that's like what like. That's like giving like a participation medal. They're like, nice job. You were the 3rd head coach to the Eastern All-Star game.
I mean, that's like
nice job.
That's the same with the 7th man on the bench. Like you barely play.
You got an All-Star nod?
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Same with the head coaches don't get an All-Star nods.
Yeah, it's not like you look at like how many times. Do they even keep track of how many All-Star games the coaches coach?
Coach of the Year awards.
Yeah, I mean, I would look at Coach of the Year more so than I would look at the All-Star coach.
I don't know.
Maybe we're reading too far into this.
Maybe we are.
We've gotten so off topic here.
Yeah,
we had a topic.
We had a topic today. Joe, we're filming.
Are we on air right now?
Let's see.
What are you looking at?
He's looking to see if he's right.
If they keep,
I'm trying to figure out how they pick the coaches.
What else would he be looking
Coaches are determined 2 weeks before the All-Star game. Oh, it's just a draw. It's not a draft. Never mind.
They draft
the
coach. That would be hilarious.
No, it's let's see. What's his
Silver just got
Adam Silver's like for East, I am selecting Eric Spoelstra. Anyway, we got sidetracked. But yeah, I mean I think that we said everything.
Are you muted? I think you're muted.
Oh boy,
You've been muted for I don't even know how long.
I don't know how long, but I think that's all we had to say. I think I did say the coaches before I muted it. Cool. All right, we're good. We're good.
We had some technical difficulties.
User error. Not technical difficulty. It was user error.
So, for the last thing I wanted to say for the All-Star game, I'm actually excited because I think they're going to keep the same format as last year.
The format was pretty interesting.
For last year. They play to a certain point.
I think the format fits how the All-Star game is like treated now. Yeah. Whereas like the All-Star game like used to be. First off, I liked it when they wore their own jerseys. That was really cool. That was cool. But now, it's kind of like a joke, which is fine. It's supposed to be entertainment anyways, so I don't think anybody super minds that. But I like how they have like.
I just miss Isaiah Thomas trying to self-oop himself and missing it.
That's very true. Watching all these that's I think the most fun about it is just watching all these players do like crazy stuff that you would never see them do in a
like
Zach
Levine back when he was
or Curry fucking going down.
Literally ducking so he didn't get dunked over on us.
Yeah,
like who does?
So anyway, I'm excited to actually see this one because again they actually have good format this year. I never used to watch the All-Star game until last year because the format, it wasn't as fun.
Dude, even I would watch, like, before I even gave 2 flying shits about basketball, I would still watch, like, at least, like, the dunk contest.
I watched it. I'm like, talking about All-Star game. I used to watch the 3-point contest.
I remember
and the dunk
when
contest.
Nash won that skills challenge.
Yeah, it's the skills challenge. But I'm actually excited for the game itself. So I'm excited.
The game should be exciting.
So
it should be fun.
And hopefully some more picks are right. Maybe we'll review the picks after the All-Star game. We'll see who's right and wrong.
Mm-hmm. But I'm excited to see Ja in his first All-Star selection. That's really good for him.
So that is it for the podcast. Subscribe if you're on YouTube and like and comment, of course. And then obviously leave a 5-star rating on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts because they have that new rating system now for Spotify. But that is it.
That's right. Check out sportsbitspod.wordpress.com as well. Okay. Created a website.
You created a website.
Put our content.
So we have all the centralized there.
On our website, so go check that out. You can check out all of our socials. We post the I can't actually post the audio files, fun fact, because you need to pay for the website.
But we'll link it to Spotify.
Poor, so we linked everything, so we're all good with that.
Yes.
So just go check that out. You can see what we're doing.
Poor. So that's all of our socials. We will see.
You want to pay for a domain or sports? But that's what
we don't make money. We don't make enough money yet. Exactly. That's not in the budget.
We're employed on campus.
We're not. That's not in the budget.
Exactly. We don't. Do we have a budget?
No.
We'll think about it.
So next week, everybody. We'll see y'all. Peace.